What's going on, folks? Welcome to another exciting episode of Strong Arm Sports, the realest sports podcast on the entire web, man. I'm KSpadeTheProspect.
I'm your boy Paris 57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports. Hey, let me jump right into it, man. Some things happened in the NBA, you know what I mean? This past week right here, some things we need to talk about. I'm going to start off. We're going to go to New York. And no, it's not about Derek Fisher again. He's back coaching, by the way, if you guys have missed it. He's back coaching. But I want to talk about Carmelo Anthony. So if you guys don't know, Carmelo Anthony came out this week and told his coaches on his staff that, you know, he wants coaches to put more blame on him. He wants to be held more accountable. Not just on the offensive end, but on the defensive end as well. Spade, what do you think about Carmelo coming out saying this? He want to be held accountable.
Let me get this right. You got Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
Perennial all-star.
Yeah.
Veteran.
Yeah.
Accomplished NBA player. This guy also won a national championship as a college freshman.
Yeah.
He wants somebody to come tell him to do what he already know he's supposed to do.
Well, that's what
I kind of got a problem with hearing that. He's the leader of that team. He's supposed to be holding other people accountable and leading by example. Why you asking your coaches to hold you accountable? You should be. That's just typical Melo stuff, dog. That's typical Melo, man.
You know, there's been reports coming out. You know, in previous Melo coaching situations, coaches with Melo, they came out and said that Melo didn't like to be held accountable, especially on the defensive end. Melo didn't like coaches to like come down on him. You know, and I mean, as a leader, and as the captain of the squad, you should want to be held accountable. Like, you shouldn't have to tell the coaches to hold you accountable. And I understand that some coaches coddle they superstar, but as a role player, if you see the coach coming down on Melo, you'll be like, well, you know, I know he's going to come down on me even harder. He the superstar. But if you're a role player or just, you know, a guy, if you like the 8th, 9th, 10th man on the bench and you don't get that much PT and the coach steady on you and you be, you know, he don't never say nothing to Melo, you out there like, man, he don't never say nothing to Melo, and Melo bust on that defensive rotation right there. So for Melo to want this now, Melo, you about 5 years too late, homie. I mean, this should have been happening. You should have been wanted this. I think in Melo case, if he would have, what's the word I want to use, Spade? If he would have took this in earlier, he could have probably been a way better player. And don't get me wrong, I like Melo. But for you to say this in what is this, like year 12? What year is this for Melo? Like,
yeah, it's
for you to say this now, man, it's not looking good, Melo. It's not looking good.
Let me ask you this before I move on.
Okay.
You think he really wants to be held accountable, or you think it's just the PR?
Well,
you think that's like public relations?
See, more reports came out that Melo really didn't want this. He just said this for, you know, to show like we a team and, you know, it starts with me type of thing. And people was like, man, after they lose like 10 in a row and the Knicks ain't going nowhere again, they saying that Melo gonna be like, man, don't say nothing to me, Derek Fisher. You can't tell me nothing. So they saying that's what they saying about Melo. But in my opinion, I hope that is genuine. I hope Melo ain't doing that for them type of reasons, because the Knicks actually, they really need Melo to be their leader, man. And if Derek Fisher,
no doubt,
if Derek Fisher can't say nothing to Melo, he damn sure ain't gonna be able to say nothing to Langston Galloway. You know what I'm saying? So we have to see how this pans out and see if it work out during the season.
All right, man. Well, from one NBA team to another.
Okay.
Golden State, I mean, they like America's team right now. Everybody loves the Warriors.
Yeah, man.
It's so fun to watch.
Yeah, man.
To my knowledge, this is one of the few, like, fast-paced, fast-break, high-tempo teams to go all the way. I remember when, you know, Golden State used to have that offense back with Baron Davis when it didn't really pan out. Yeah. And I also remember the Clippers in their high-flying years, it never really panned out. But for whatever reason, some other teams, more importantly, I'm going to go ahead and call his name. Doc Rivers was recently in an interview where he said, you know, you need luck to win. And he said, take Golden State, for instance. They was lucky on that road to the championship. They didn't have to play us or the Spurs. Well, a couple of players for Golden State took offense to it. Draymond Green had, you know, some comments about it. And Steph Curry went as far as to issue like a fake apology. Like, oh, we're sorry that we played whoever they had, you know, there for us to play. And I just want to ask you, how do you feel about this? Which side are you on this? Are teams hating on Golden State, or do they actually have a point?
I think it's definitely some sort out there. That's not Golden State fault that Westbrook and them didn't get in and they didn't have to face no elite point guard. You play to win the game, and they play whoever was they play whoever was in front of them, and they gave them that work, and that's what it is, man. Like, you can't be like, well, if they play blah blah. And I would have loved to see Westbrook and them go at it 1-8, but Golden State went out there and won a ton of games. They was the number 1 seed in the West. I mean, they did what they were supposed to do, man. So I definitely think it's some sort out there. And they the reigning champs, man. So, it's going to be a great season coming up because a lot of people is talking. So we got to see what's going to happen on that court. What side do you want to know?
Okay, let me play devil's advocate.
Of course you are.
I think I wanna play on the side with Doc Rivers and some of these other people making these comments. Hold on though. Nobody's saying that Golden State don't deserve to be champs. Nobody's ever said that. But they indeed did have a lucky road to the finals. Hell, in the finals, they played a beat-up Cavaliers team. It's still no doubt in my mind that if the Cavs have Kyrie, I think the Cavs win the finals. I think they do. So, I'm a Heat fan. Back when we had LeBron, so many times I heard, man, look at the East. The Heat got a lucky road. I heard that so much, and I'm pretty sure Cavs fans even heard it this past season with the Cavaliers. They had a lucky road, an easy road. So the Golden State Warriors aren't above being told they had a lucky road to the finals. Do they deserve winning it? Yeah, they went out there, they played the game, and they won the game. Did they have a lucky road? Yeah, they did. That's where I sit with it.
Me and you play a lot of NBA 2K. We real competitive. We like playing. We like playing online. And I'm gonna get on you. I'm gonna get on you because you tell me a lot of times I be like,
whoa, listen, I'm not on trial.
Yeah,
here,
bro. Because a lot of times I be like, man, I almost made that. If I would have made that, you'd be like, almost doesn't count. Come on, bro.
That's true.
And you be like,
That's true.
Ifs, man. Ifs don't matter, man. If they would have played, that don't matter. They play who was in front of them. They got the dub. They got the rings, man. You can't say if. You can't say almost. It doesn't matter. They went out there and played the team that was on the court, and they made it happen, man. I definitely think some teams out there is hating. Bro. Let's move on. Spade. Now, me and you are notoriously known for not being baseball fans. I understand they are in like the American League Championship and the National League Championship right now to play to see who get to the World Series. We don't care nothing about that. We don't care nothing about that. What we are here to talk about is the bat flip. Like the bat, if you guys don't know, once these guys crush home runs, these guys are flipping the bats, and pitchers and baseball aficionados, baseball experts are saying it's disrespectful to the game, and people are not liking the backflip, and they are saying that this thing has a lot to do with culture and race and background. And I want to get your thoughts on this. I want to get your thoughts on this, Spade. I want to know, how do you feel about the backflip?
Okay, now I was going to take a silly approach to this, but let me be completely serious for a minute. It's a double standard with the backflip that I don't get. And maybe it's because I'm not a baseball, expert. All right, so let me show you the contrast in this. Okay, we all on Twitter. I follow SportsCenter on Twitter. And I'll see SportsCenter or ESPN in particular send out a tweet of like a guy playing baseball with his kid. And he'll hit a home run. They might be playing wiffle ball. And he'll flip the bat. And they'll go, look at that awesome bat flip though. It'll get a gazillion retweets. I'll look at some of the replies and people will be like, man, that's an awesome bat flip. Well, as soon as somebody does it in the majors, all of a sudden it's this horrible thing. Somebody that I follow on Twitter that I respect their opinion was like, if I was that team, I would pull up the hardest throwing goon I had in the minors to throw at his head the next time we played him. That was so disrespectful and uncalled for. So you gonna throw at his head because he flipped his bat? Get the hell out of here. I don't get it, dog. I don't get it.
Let me touch on this. They were saying that it got a lot to do with race and culture because a lot of the Puerto Ricans and Mexicans and Cubans, they like to do that and they pop off, they pop off at the lip a lot. And a lot of people that, that are fans and are baseball fans. You know, baseball is America's pastime, and they were saying that these guys are disrespectful to the game. Now, let me say this: baseball, your game, you know, is kind of picking up some more steam right now, but your game is not as big as the other major sports like basketball and football because you guys won't adapt. It's time to adapt
because it's boring.
It's boring, man. Like, so if a guy want to flip the bat and bring some energy and some flair to the sport, I think you should allow him. Like, man, let me tell you something. Spade, if I didn't play baseball. I tried out for the baseball team. I seen how fast those pitchers was throwing. I got the hell out of Dodge. I became a football player. But let me tell you something. If I was in the major leagues and I hit a home run 500 feet, I would walk around the bases. I would walk. And let me tell you what I would do if a pitcher threw at me 100 miles an hour and hit me in the head. I would go out there with the bat. Because if you want to use the ball as a weapon that's moving as fast as a car, I'm going to go out there with this bat and use it as fast and use it as a weapon as well. Like, to me, dudes throwing at dudes is absurd. And they need, you know, all these are unwritten codes and unwritten rules in baseball. You're not supposed to bat flip. You know, if a guy show you up, hit him with the ball. What type of crap is this? Baseball, so that's okay. So hitting a dude with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball is okay. But flipping the bat on a home run because you excited is not, I don't get it. People my last point with baseball, Spade, and we can move on unless you got something. But my last point is, they even get mad when a dude do a slow trot. When he hit a home run, he do a slow trot around the bases. Like, these pitchers need to man up. Man, I don't know, man. I mean, and it could be because we're not baseball fans. I don't get it.
That's what I'm thinking. Let me jump back in right quick, and then we'll definitely keep it moving. We don't want the show to run too long. But what was the guy, and I hate to call a name because I don't want to make myself look crazy here on the show, even though I admittedly don't follow baseball. What was the guy's name that would do the backflip? Was that, not bat, back. Was that Ozzy? I want to say it was Ozzy, but it was a guy back in my younger days.
Yeah, I think he was a shortstop. He used to do a bat flip.
Right.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
He would do a backflip.
Yeah.
How was that not show? You see what I'm saying? Like, how do you pick and choose what's okay and what's not okay? I tell you what, whether you like the backflip or not, it definitely got people talking about baseball when most of us don't give two shits about baseball anyway. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe you need to let these guys bring their own charisma and own swagger through. I tell you what, once upon a time, somebody got an interception in the football, and instead of just running in the end zone, they started the high step. I'm sure the old guys was like, what is he doing? Why don't he just run in the end zone the normal way? But it caught on, and people liked it. Yeah. So let these guys do things that bring excitement. If I hit a home run, trust me, I would give you a reason to throw the ball at me. I would cut the fool. I would really cut the fool, man. Trust me, it would get ugly. But anyway, man, let's move forward. Okay. I'm looking at. I got something that I want to talk to you about, man. I don't know if you heard about this, but Sammy Watkins. I like this guy, man. I liked him coming out of Clemson, which is tough because I'm a Miami fan and they beat us. But I like Sammy Watkins. I like Taj Boyd.
Everybody beat the game.
Chill, man. You need to mature yourself. You're very immature right now. I'm going to throw at your head. Okay. But Sammy Watkins, recently some news came out recently that Sammy Watkins is unhappy with the amount of targets that he's getting. And I'm kind of torn on it. So before I ask you where you stand on it, I just kind of want to share my thoughts, my opinions on it.
Okay.
It's not unordinary for a wide receiver to be upset with his targets. Every wide receiver feel like he open every play. Mm-hmm. I played wide receiver for a little while when I was young, and I thought I was open a whole lot more than the quarterback did. Mm-hmm. The reality of it is that quarterback don't have time to sit there and look at every single option on every single play. And then at the end of the day, Buffalo is winning. They playing good. And granted, they got I was finna say Taj Boyd. Help me out here. I'm having a brain fart. Tyrod is hurt right now. So EJ Manuel's gonna get the start this week. But the team has looked better than I think most people expected them to look. They're looking pretty good. So I don't necessarily have a problem with Sammy Watkins wanting more targets. I want him to put the team and their needs before Sammy Watkins and his needs. And the direct quote was that the Bills are making him look bad. No, they're not, bro. If they don't throw to you, how do you look bad? You only look bad if you drop in the passes when they do throw it to you. So as long as you make the play, when they throw you the ball, when they give you an opportunity, if you take the best of it, you don't look bad, Sammy. Just get the dubs, bro. Get the dubs.
Now, before I go, because I'm going to go in a little bit. I like Sammy too, man. And Sammy Watkins was one of those guys. I was like, man, Sammy Watkins got the potential to be an elite receiver. But before you talk about target, Sammy, how about getting on the field? Because you've been injured. How about that? How about getting on the field and playing some games so you can get some targets? You know what I mean? Like, this is that, there's no I in team, but, there is a me. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations. And Sammy, like, the Bills, and I mean, they ain't tearing the league up, but they playing all right. They playing well. Rex got them over there, at least competing. He got them over there competing. And I mean, once you get back on the field, Sammy, I feel like you can contribute, but you saying I deserve more targets, which you right, Spade. Every wide receiver think they open every play. They do. Wide receivers are notoriously known as being the diva position. They all want the ball more. They all want more touchdowns, more catches, everything. So I get it. But my thing is, how about getting on the field, helping your team, and contribute to them getting some dubs, man? Like the past couple of weeks, you haven't even been playing, and I mean they've been out there battling without you. So you coming back talking about they making you look bad when you stirring up the pot when they playing all right. Top right, like they playing decent. Like to me, it's just stirring up the pot, and you don't need to have that type of outside noise when you trying to. The Bills been down for so long. You don't need to stir up the pot to bring outside noise, and we trying to move to the right direction. Come on, Sammy, you know this. You're better than this.
Agreed.
You're better than this, Sammy. Let's move on, Spade. I definitely want to talk about some injuries that happened over the past week, man. Two guys that, I think both of us like very much. Jamal Charles and Nick Chubb. If you don't know, Jamal Charles went down with an ACL, and Nick Chubb went down, I think, with a broke leg and an ACL. I think, Nick Chubb really had one of the most terrifying, ugliest injuries I ever seen, man. It's just horrendous to look at, man. And I'm hoping...
update on that. It actually ended up not being as bad as it looked. It was horrible. It was ugly. But it turns out, they said the ACL is actually, not as... I guess it's not a complete rupture. It might be a small tear or something, but it's not a complete rupture. But anyway, go ahead.
And I'm pretty sure somebody will correct us in the comment section down below. But anyway.
Hey, I like it.
Jamal Charles went down, man. Jamal Charles was definitely one of those guys that, was tearing the league up, man. And Jamal Charles, if I'm not mistaken, this is his second ACL. He went down with another ACL. He went down with it again this past week. And Spade, you actually picked the Chiefs to win their division. We ain't gonna spend too much time on this. I just want to about these injuries, Nick Chubb, Jamal Charles, the impact, bro.
For both teams, it's a blow. Needless to say, it's a bigger blow to the Chiefs than I think Nick Chubb's injury is to UGA. We got a chance to see almost the exact same situation last season with Todd Gurley. The good news for both of these guys is modern medicine and technology. Guys are coming back from knee injuries looking like they never left.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't believe it, you can ask Green Bay what Todd Gurley just did to them. Todd Gurley running like he's never been injured. So, needless to say, I hope both of these guys bounce back. For Jamal Charles, though, he's a smaller guy in terms of running backs, and injuries is nothing new to this guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to wonder if it's going to impact his career as far as his durability. But for both teams, it's a blow. Kansas City been looking kind of rough even before Charles went down. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I definitely missed the mark by choosing them to win a division.
Before we move on, Spade, let me ask you, Rick, the coach, Rick from UGA, right. Gurley's out. I mean, they played. They didn't look too good. How do you feel about Rick, man? Rick, he one of those guys that he got the Marvin Lewis syndrome. He always keep his job no matter what. You know what I mean? How you feel about Rick?
Right. Honestly, man, I've spoke on this show before. I don't know, man. Me personally, I probably would have gave him his walking papers. I mean, the guy is a pretty good recruiter. He's a pretty good coach. Every year he's got one of the top recruiting classes in the nation, and they never seem to, like, I just feel like they should have some SEC banners, maybe even at least one national championship banner. And I know everybody's going to tell me that year that they feel like they should have. Yeah. That's 1 year. Some rumors recently surfaced about Mark Richt. Maybe he's going to Miami to be their head coach. I think he was a quarterback coach or something at Miami back in the past. So, the history's there. And, when he's not doing good, Georgia hates him. But he just eked out a victory this week. Eked out. They won a game scoring less than 10 points.
Yeah.
And the same people that wanted him fired, those same people are rallying behind this win. And that's why I think it's no better place for Mark Richt than UGA, because I don't think that's going to cut it anywhere else. But the masses at Georgia, or at least the athletic director, they okay with him never winning the SEC championship and never winning a national championship. Mm-hmm. As long as he can just hang in that middle of the road, keep getting top 5, top 10 recruiting classes, and just keep being middle of the road, they'll love him forever. So for me, I'd have been fired him. Sorry, Mark.
I was going to say that too. Like the same thing with Marvin Lewis. I think these teams like Georgia and the Bengals, I think they're happy with just being there. They winning. Mm-hmm. The Bengals was down for a long time. So I guess they figured Marvin Lewis getting us 10, 11 wins a season, getting us in the playoffs. We stinking in the playoffs. Georgia the same way. Rick down there getting us 8, 9, 10 wins a season. We getting bowl games, money coming into the school.
Yep.
We don't got to win a national championship. Let's just keep this up and keep cashing them checks, baby. Keep cashing them bowl checks. You know what I mean? They playing in the belt bowl and all these. We don't matter, but we don't matter, but you here.com bowl. So I think they just happy with just being there. The same thing with the Bengals. I think they're more the same type of situations. That's why I'm talking about the Bengals with Georgia. I think those teams or those the people up top are like, you know what? We at least end it every year. We making it to bowl games. We getting 9, 10 wins. Same thing with the Bengals. We happy. We good with that. Now the fans may think something different. The fans may think they need to go undefeated and win national championships, but I don't think the people up top think that, man. I don't think the people up top think like that. Yeah, you're right. Don't look like it anyway.
All right, well, check this out. Let's talk NFL pick'em game for this week.
Okay.
I don't choose the game of the week before y'all come at me. The game of the week, per the experts for this week, is New England Patriots, Indianapolis Colts. Now, on paper, I can understand why this is the game of the week. It's a lot of backstory in this game. Deflategate comes back up. These teams just met in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's kind of like maybe the passing of the torch. Maybe people feel like once Tom Brady started to taper off, Andrew Luck could be that guy to take him to the next level. I don't know if they feel that way anymore, but probably before this season, that's how people felt. But I'm going to put you on the spot. LaParis, who you like in this game, man?
Well, I think this is one of the few times we are going to agree. I'm definitely going New England. I think it's scary because this is the same type of situation it was when Spygate happened with New England. When Spygate happened and New England came back and tore the league up and they done pissed off Brady again. Don't awake a sleeping giant. I remember, Spade, I'm going to kind of transition right here real quick. I remember we was playing a game, Spade, me and you, we was playing 2K, and I remember somebody sent you a message, and you was playing bad, champ. And he sent you a message.
I wasn't really playing bad.
My homie Spade shot out of his mind, and I was like, why did he awake a sleeping giant? Yeah. And that's what they did to Tom Brady. Tom Brady is tearing the league up, and I think because the Colts, not necessarily the Colts, the Colts just reported it. It ain't the Colts' fault. They went over there, they took a ball, they gave it to the ball boy. The ball boy was like, man, this junk don't feel right, and that was that. The Colts ain't had nothing to do. They don't care. They even came out and said, we didn't lose because of that. But Tom Brady felt like it's the Colts' fault, and I think Tom Brady gonna come out there and light it up, bro. So I'm gonna go Patriots winning big, bro.
I'm going to go Patriots as well. Here's the theme right here. Any Colts fans, maybe any Colts players, coaches watching the show, listening to the podcast, let me let you guys know what Tom Brady wants me to tell y'all. Snitches get stitches. I don't care who discovered it. You should have been quiet, but you ran your mouth, and now you can't come back to the hood no more. It's going to go down. Yeah. This game is going to get ugly. The Colts look bad anyway. I'm going to even take it a step further. I think the Colts got a better chance if Andrew Luck don't play. Andrew Luck drops back. He ain't looking for nobody but T.Y. Hilton. I forgot Andre Johnson was on that damn team until Andrew Luck sat down. Yeah. Until he sat down, which I know this show is going to be long, but let me throw this in there. I feel sorry for Andre, man. Andre Johnson left the Texans because he felt like, as Hopkins was becoming, a great player, his targets was going down and they weren't really looking for Andre, right? So he goes to the Colts because they throw the ball a lot and he's expecting to still be able to show what he can do. He has had fewer targets this year than he has in his entire career. He's got to be thinking, why the hell did y'all even want me? Why'd y'all take the trade? Yeah, he's just an extra blocker or something. Now, he's a decoy. He's just running around. Andrew Luck ain't looking for nobody but T.Y. If T.Y. ain't open, he's looking for Philip Dorsett. And if both of those guys ain't open, Andrew rather throw it to the other damn team.
He's not looking for Andre. The pick, baby. You ain't not
looking for Andre. That's for damn sure.
You ain't lying. But, I mean, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know who you guys have for this game. I'm pretty sure the whole comment section going to pick the Patriots unless you're a Colts fan. But I think it's going to get ugly out there. With Spade.
Me too.
Moving on. We bringing back a segment that a lot of guys that watch our podcast and listen to our podcast like, it ain't it. So, Spade, I got some names written down. And we're going to say, are they it or they ain't it? So, I want to start off with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, Spade. It ain't it.
For this year, Russell Wilson ain't it. Sorry, man. I like the guy. I don't know what's going on this year. Maybe it's Sierra, but right now he ain't it.
Well, let me say this before we move on. When we say it ain't it, we are talking right now. Like, we ain't talking about Russell Wilson last year. We ain't talking about him 10 years from now. We talking about him right now. And right now, Russell Wilson ain't it. And I'm going to say it's Sierra. Man, some of these women got that bad juju, and I don't know what the hell she did to Russell Wilson, but Future seen it, and Future got the hell out of Dodge.
Well, all I know is Future making way better music now that she gone.
You ain't lying. All I got to say. See what I'm saying? Some of these women got bad juju, and right now, Russell Wilson ain't it, man. I want them guys to leave in the comment section down below if these guys are it or ain't it as well.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, let's stay on the same team. Let's talk about Jimmy Graham. This guy right here, once upon a time, was that dude. Right now, Jimmy Graham, it or ain't it?
I want to say Jimmy Graham is still it. I don't think Jimmy is it. I don't think he's it because Russell Wilson ain't it. Russell Wilson throwing him the ball, but Jimmy Graham, in my opinion, is still it. For whatever reason, Russell can't get him the ball. So I'm gonna say Jimmy Graham right now is still it. Go ahead.
I don't know if you in my notes or what, but a receiver can't be it if his quarterback ain't it. So I'm gonna say Jimmy's it too, man.
Yeah, I think Jimmy's still it. Moving on. Let's talk Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick, man, I wrote on Twitter, if you guys don't follow on Twitter, I wrote on Twitter last week. I said, man, it's crazy. People was loving Kaepernick a year or two ago. Now people hate Colin Kaepernick, man. They hate that dude guts. Kaepernick, Spade, it ain't it.
Man, Cap, I'm going to keep it short. Cap ain't it. Not it. Not it.
Man,
you see that game Spade, where he started the game off with 2 pick sixes?
Yeah, I seen
Cap ain't it, bro.
I want Spade.
Bro, see, don't try to be nice to him.
I can't push. Nice. I can't push. I want to say he it, but I want to say he ain't it in that situation. Sometimes it's time for a guy to move on. But in that situation, Cap ain't it, man. I want to say Cap need to move on. But I mean, they done read up with him for like some money. Mm-hmm. I mean, the deal is structured crazy, so they don't really owe him that, but they got to pay him that, but they don't really got to pay him that. You know how the NFL is.
Yep.
But Cap in that situation, he ain't it, man. I'm sorry. I think Cap in another situation to be way better, but Cap with the 49ers right now ain't it. Let's move on.
All right. Let's talk college ball coaches for a minute, man. Steve Spurrier, the old ball coach, just recently came out and said, I'm resigning. Not to be confused with retiring. I'm not retiring. I am resigning. Spurrier ain't been it for a minute, but he's still some juice in the tank. Is he it or ain't it?
The way Spurrier left them kids in South Carolina that he recruited, that's his kids. He recruited them kids. And for you to be the captain and not go down with that shit, Spurrier, and I respect Spurrier. I love Spurrier, man. The winningest coach in South Carolina history, I respect his football knowledge. But the way he played them kids, Spurrier, you ain't it, man. You picked them kids. If y'all suck, it's your fault. You should have went down with the ship too, not bailed on them kids. Spurrier, you ain't it.
Let me play devil's advocate, man. I can't fault a guy for...
Spade, it ain't no devil's advocate. It's it or ain't it. Is he it or ain't it?
It's devil's advocate, man. You can't fault that man for finding a better situation for himself. You know, he recruited those kids, but that man got real kids that he got to take care of, and he just trying to feed his family. Now, I'm just playing. Coach ain't it, man, and he's actually not been it for quite some time now. Yeah, he ain't it.
Moving. You know, Spurrier used to be a quarterback too, but moving on to quarterbacks. Let's talk about a quarterback in Detroit, Matthew Stafford, Spade. It ain't it, hey, man. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I'm going in. I have never thought this dude was it. Not at UGA, not when he got drafted, not when he had success just chucking the ball downfield to Calvin Johnson. Never thought he was it. He got benched last week. You not it, Matthew. Not it.
A lot of you guys let Madden fool you, man. Y'all see Matthew Stafford out there with 99 throw power, and y'all think Matthew Stafford is it. Matthew Stafford ain't it. Me being me, if I had Calvin Johnson on the field, I'd just chuck it to him too, and I could get $100 million, man. Matthew Stafford ain't it, man. He ain't it. I'm sorry.
Well, we did this one time before. Let's do it again. Calvin Johnson, his teammate. It or ain't it?
I mean, it's the same thing. Matthew Stafford ain't it. I think Calvin Johnson is it. Calvin, man. And before we move on, Spade, let me interrupt this real quick. This is why I want these guys to stop ringing up with these bum ass teams. Could you imagine Calvin Johnson with somebody like a Cam Newton, or Calvin Johnson going to a team like the Patriots or somebody? Like, Calvin Johnson would cook. But he read up with Detroit, and he's stuck with Matthew Stafford. But Calvin Johnson is it, but he ain't it this year because Matthew Stafford ain't it.
Yeah, I mean, Calvin's it, man. Calvin's it. Now, I know he had a big-time fumble in a recent game, but Calvin is it. He just need a better QB, man.
Yeah, man. Let's go to your boy down there in Miami. Another quarterback in Miami, Ryan Tannehill. It ain't it, Spade. You was liking the Tanny, so let me hear what you're going to say about this.
Yeah, but you know, this show right here is in real time. So as of right now, the Tanny ain't it. I hope he get it together, but as of right now, the Tanny ain't it, man.
I want to say, with all the reports coming out about the Tanny, man, the Tanny ain't it, man. The Tanny acting like he a wide receiver, man. You are the quarterback, bro. You the quarterback. Be a leader. A quarterback is supposed to be a leader. I know a lot of people be like, especially defensive players, the quarterback don't have to be the leader of the team. The quarterback is the leader. Be a leader. And right now, Tannehill, you're not being a leader. You ain't it.
So let's finish this thing off with a bang.
Okay.
Head coach. Recently hired head coach out in Sacramento, George Karl. We know his resume. He did a lot for those Denver Nuggets. It don't seem to be starting off too good in Sacramento. I don't know if he's the problem or the player, so I'm asking you, George Karl, it or ain't it?
I want to say George Karl is one of them old school dudes that want to do it the old school way, and these new school players ain't beat. George Karl, you either got to change your style, or you got to get the hell up out of there. George Karl, you ain't it. He already going back and forth with Rondo, and we in preseason. George Karl, I'm sorry, you one of my favorite coaches, but you ain't it.
Yeah, I'm going to say George Karl, I'm with you. He's not it. Not necessarily for the same reasons you are. I like the fact that he's an old school coach, and he got old school ways of wanting things done. He ain't it because he took a bad job. If you just told people to stop re-upping with bad teams, stop settling for jobs that you don't really want. You knew the issue with Boogie Cousins when you took the job. You said you could work with him. As soon as you got there, you guys started to butt heads. And then you guys picked up Rondo, who nobody likes anyway, and now you're butting heads with him. So probably two of your best players on the team, you already ain't kicked. Why'd you take the job? Why? You ain't it,
point,
right?
Bro. That's a good point. But Spade, let's move on to the last topic right here. Strong going performer of the week. You already know where I'm going. I'm just going to jump into mine. Strong going performer of the week going to go to Dalvin Cook. Tore up the U. I threw up the U too. He tore up the U for 22 carries, 228 yards rushing, and 2 TDs. Also had 3 catches for 47 yards and another score. Cook, talk about Cook about to cook. Shout out to QJB. Talk about Cook about to cook. He turned up. Cook turned up, and for that, my dude, you are my strong arm performer of the week, babe. Yeah, man. Can I get a tomahawk? Though?
My strong arm performer of the week is the Florida State Seminoles because that was the wager, and I had to say if we lost that they was the strong arm performer of the week. But I still want to give a shout out to my Hurricanes who fought hard. You guys got heart. If you had a better leader, you guys would take this nation by storm. Go Canes.
Chicks, bro.
Why is that funny?
It's been a good show, man. As usual, this has been Strong on Sports. You guys know the routine. If you new, bang the subscribe button. If you're a regular here, hit the like button. Take 2 seconds. Also, we everywhere. If you don't want to look at our mugshots, we everywhere. We on Podomatic, we on iTunes, we on SoundCloud, man. We everywhere. You could, if you riding in your car, you don't want to see our face, man. Just throw us on your iTunes. Turn this on, listen to us, man. We want to thank you guys for your continued support. Excuse me, can't talk. We want to thank you guys for your continued support. Spade, you got anything else to add?
Go Canes.
Shakes. But we want to thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next episode. We out.
Peace.